ॐ गणानां त्वा गणपतिगं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पतान शृण्वन्नोतिभिस्सीदसादनम्। ॐ श्रीमहागणपतये नमः। सरस्वत्यै नमो नित्यम्। भद्रकाल्यै नमो नमः। वेद वेदांत वेदांग विद्यास्थानेभ्यैव च सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयम् नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतो वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। व्यासं वसिष्ठनप्तारं शक्तेः पौत्रमकल्मषम् पराशरात्मजं वन्दे शुकतातं तपोनिधिं। व्यासाय व्यासरूपाय विष्णवे नमो वै ब्रह्मनिधये वासिष्ठाय नमो नमः। चतुर्वदनो ब्रह्मा द्विबाहुरपरो हरिः अभाललोचनः शम्भुः भगवान् बादरायणः। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। जन्माद्यस्य यथातो ब्रह्म जिज्ञासा जन्माद्यस्य यतः शास्त्रयोनित्वात् तत्तु समन्वयात् ईक्षतेर्नाशब्दम् गौणश्चेन्नात्मशब्दात् तन्निष्ठस्य मोक्षोपदेशात् हेयत्वावचनाच्च स्वाप्यया गति सामान्यात् श्रुतत्वाच्च आनंदमयोभ्यासात्. Now we are going to see the sixth adhikaran called Anandamaya Adhikaranam. So, before that, let us read some Bhashya, page 121. Second paragraph. जन्माद्यस्य यतः इत्यारभ्य श्रुतत्वाच्च इत्येवमन्तः सूत्रैः यानि उदाहृतानि वेदान्तवाक्यानि तेषां सर्वज्ञः सर्वशक्तिरीश्वरः जगतः जन्म स्थिति लय कारणम् इति एतस्यार्थस्य प्रतिपादकत्वं न्यायपूर्वकं प्रतिपादितं गतिसामान्योपन्यासेन च सर्वे वेदान्ताः चेतनकारिणवादिनः इति व्याख्यातम्. अतः परस्य ग्रन्थस्य किम् उत्थानमिति उच्यते. द्विरूपं हि ब्रह्म अवगम्यते. नाम रूप विकार भेदोपाधि विशिष्टम् तद्विपरीतं च सर्वोपाधि विवर्जितम् यत्र हि द्वैतम् इव भवति तद् इतरं पश्यति. यत्र त्वस्य सर्वम् आत्मा एव भूत् तत्केन कं पश्येत यत्र नान्यत् पश्यति नान्यत् शृणोति नान्यत् विजानाति स भूमा अथ यत्र अन्यत् पश्यति अन्यत् शृणोति अन्यत् विजानाति तदल्पम् यो वै भूमा तदमृतम् अथ यदल्पं तन्मर्त्यम्. अथ यदल्पं तन्मर्त्यम् सर्वाणि रूपाणि विचित्य धीरः नामानि कृत्वा अभिवदन्यदास्ते निष्कलं निष्क्रियं शान्तं निरवध्यं निरञ्जनम् अमृतस्य परं सेतुम् दग्ध ईंधनम् इव अनलम् नेति नेति इति अस्थूलम् अनणु न्यूनम् अन्यत् स्थानम् संपूर्णम् अन्यत् इति चैवं सहस्रशः विद्या विद्या विषयभेदेन ब्रह्मणो द्विरूपतां दर्शयन्ति वाक्यानि तत्र अविद्यावस्थायां ब्रह्मणः उपास्य उपासकादिलक्षणः सर्वो व्यवहारः तत्र कानिचित् ब्रह्मणः उपासनानि अभ्युदयार्थानि कानिचित् क्रमम् उक्तार्थानि कानिचित् क्रमम् उक्त्यार्थानि कानिचित् कर्म समृद्ध्यर्थानि तेषां गुणविशेषोपाधिभेदेन भेदः एक एव तु परमात्मा ईश्वरः तैः तैः गुणविशेषैः विशिष्टोपास्यः यद्यपि भवति तथापि यथा गुणोपासनम् एव फलानि भिद्यन्ते तं यथा यथोपासते तदेव भवति इति श्रुतेः यथा क्रतुः अस्मिल्लोके पुरुषो भवति तथा तः प्रेत्य भवति इति च स्मृतेश्च यं यं वापि स्मरन् भावं त्यजत्यन्ते कलेवरम् तं तमेवैति कौन्तेय सदा तद्भावभावितः इति यद्यपि एक आत्मा सर्वभूतेषु स्थावरजंगमेषु गूढ़ः तथापि चित्तोपाधि विशेषतारतम्यात् आत्मनः कूटस्थ नित्यस्य एकरूपस्य अपि उत्तरोत्तरम् आविष्कृतस्य तारतम्य ऐश्वरशक्तिविशेषैः श्रूयते तस्य य आत्मानम् आविस्तरां वेद इत्यत्र स्मृतौ अपि यद्यद्विभूतिमत्सत्त्वम् श्रीमद् ऊर्जितम् एव वा तत्तद् एव अवगच्छत्वम् मम तेजोंश संभवम् इति यत्र यत्र विभूत्यादि अतिशयः स ईश्वर इति उपास्यतया चोद्यते एवं इहपि आदित्यमण्डले हिरण्यमयः पुरुषः सर्वपापमोदयलिङ्गात् पर एवेति वक्ष्यति एवम् आकाशस्थलिङ्गात् इत्यादिषु द्रष्टव्यम्। एवं सद्यो मुक्तिकारणम् अपि आत्मज्ञानम् उपाधिविशेषद्वारेण उपदिश्यमानमपि अविवक्षितः उपाधिसम्बन्धविशेषं परापरविषयत्वेन सन्देयमानं वाक्यगतिपर्यालोचनया निर्णेतव्यं भवति। तथा इह एव तावत् आनंदमय अभ्यासात् इति एवं एकमपि ब्रह्मापेक्षितोपाधि संबंधम् निरस्तोपाधि संबंधम् च उपास्यत्वेन ज्ञेयत्वेन च वेदान्तेषु उपदिश्यते इति प्रदर्शयितुं परो ग्रन्थारभ्यते। यच्च गतिसामान्यात् इति अचेतनकारणनिराकरणम् उक्तम् तदपि वाक्यान्तराणि ब्रह्मविषयाणि व्याचक्षाणेन ब्रह्मविपरीतकारणनिषेधेन प्रपञ्चयते। We had seen the fifth adhikaran, and now we are going to see sixth adhikaran, whose name is depending on this Anandamaya Adhikaran. This Anandamaya Adhikaran has 8 sutras. So first 5 adhikaran had one sutra, 5th adhikaran had 7 sutras, and this has 8 sutras, and the topic of Anandamaya is taken. Anandamaya topic is there with one topic. Like Ikshatyadhikaran had the topic of Ikshan, whether the cause pradhan Sat Shabdavachyam is pradhanam, achetan pradhanam, or chetam brahmava. This was the topic of the 5th adhikaran. So the topic of this adhikaran is the Anandamaya Atma. What is the Anandamaya? Now, very long bhashyas are there. I will try to summarize it. Then I'll move ahead. Then you will be more comfortable in understanding the bhashya. What is said in this, we will see now. If you remember, this topic of Anandamaya basically comes in Taittiriya Upanishad, Brahmanandavalli. And that is taken here for discussion. So, as I have been repeating, that the Brahma Sutra is to emphasize or validate the importance of the Vedantic sentences which culminate in the knowledge of Brahman. So it is the extract of the Upanishad. It is extracted form of the Upanishadic mantras to create nishtha in the Brahman, which is as propounded in the Upanishad. Exactly this meaning alone is there of that mantra, and no other meaning will be there. No other meaning is possible. Therefore, this Brahma Sutra is little Nyaya Pradhan, logic Pradhan is there. So now, if you open your book, Mantra Pushpam, go to Taittiriya Upanishad. And Taittiriya Upanishad, if you go to Brahmanand Valli and go to Anandmaya Kosh, in the 5th section, if you see Tasmad va etasmad Vijnanamayat Anyuntaratmanandamaya, got it? Tenaisha Purnaha Sava Esha Purusha Vidaiva Tasya Purusha Vidatam Anvayam Purusha Vidaha Tasya Priyameva Shiraha Modo Dakshinah Pakshaha Pramodo Uttarah Pakshaha Ananda Atma Brahmapucham Pratishtha Tadapyesha Shloko Bhavati. Now just keep this as a reference point. This is where discussion will be focusing on in this subject. But as you know, it's not that simple. But we'll try to make it simple. So, Bhashyakar has commented. All of you got this, no? What is she saying? He got it. So, pattern what is adopted by Bhagwan Shankaracharya. So, there Bhashyakar says that Anandamaya is one of the 5 koshas in the commentary of Taittiriya Upanishad. And this is the study in the study of Panchakoshas. And why the Panchakoshas are described? Why to introduce the 5 koshas? Because the topic had started Brahmavida apnoti param. And after telling that Brahmavida apnoti param, he says, Yo ved nihitam guhayam parame vyoma soshnute sarvan kamansa. That means what? Yo ved means this Brahman, which is the mentioned as Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma, who knows in the heart, that means one who has the Brahma Jnana, and the Brahma Jnana was praised by the word Soshnute Sarvan Kaman Saha to indicate that he has all the Anand and he is with the whole creation. So actually the Brahma Jnana was being mentioned in that particular section, that Brahma Jnana will give liberation. So Soshnute Sarvan Kaman Saha, Ved and Ashnute Sarvan Kaman indicates that Brahma Jnana will definitely take you to the liberation. Now, the Upanishad had mentioned this, and after that, if you had seen the pattern that is followed, was again through Arundhati Nyaya. It did not talk straight about the Brahman. So it took 5 steps. First step was Annamaya Kosh. Annamaya Atma was introduced. You have heard Taittiriya Upanishads. It is important Upanishad, and the Bhashya is also very beautiful. And then Pranamay Kosh, then Manomay Kosh, then Vigyanmay Kosh, then Anandmay Kosh. So subtler koshas are mentioned later on, and grosser koshas were mentioned earlier. You know why? Because the mind is trained slowly to become subtler. Slowly. It did not get a jerk, because a person is coming from a gross world, and therefore he can catch gross first. So this was there. And ultimately Bhashyakar had proved there that Anandamay also is one kosh. Kosh means sheath. Sheath. Like sheath of a sword. That is called kosh. This had come from first time in Tattvabodh. And kush is a root here which means to cover. Kush. But if you go through that notes I had mentioned in that reference, that when Anand or Annamay Kosh, nothing can cover Atma, because Atma is all already. So it is not that Annamay Kosh, like the diagram is there, 5 concentric circles are there, and in between small ball, and inside is written Atma. So that appears very simple for the ordinary person. If you see the books, that means Atma is small. So we also think inside there is one Atma. Very gross person, one who comes first time and reads unfoldment. So he sees this is Anmaya Atma inside her. It is not like that. It is like the ornament covering the gold. This kosh is intellectual error and not something physical. It is not a physical demonstration. It's an intellectual error of covering the self. That something has covered the self. Like the ornament have covered the gold. Like pot space has covered the total space. So kosh has that meaning. This covering is not physical, but it is a misapprehension at the intellectual level. Now when this topic of Anandmay is coming here, I'll come straight to Brahma Sutra style, rather than going back there, because here a lot has to be said. So there is a little point here. Bhagavan Bhashyakara says that Anandamay is a kosh. Okay. But at that time also and now also, many of the commentators say that Anandamay is not the kosh, Anandamay is the Atma and Brahma only. This is the point of contention. And those commentators have commented on Brahma Sutra as well. As I told you, more than 50 commentaries are there on Brahma Sutra. Imagine how much people love knowledge. To write on each sutra, it takes years to get up. Person should have thorough knowledge of Sanskrit, thorough knowledge of Nyaya, thorough knowledge of Purmimamsa. So, when this Adhikaran came, they said Anandamay is Brahma. And the one who held this mat is called Vritti Karma, which you have heard earlier. In Samanvaya Prakaran, that Vritti Karmatam had come, if you remember. Who was differentiating, who was little higher than Purmimamsa and closer to Vedanta, but not exactly Vedanta. He said no, after the moksha, after Gyan also some upasana is required for moksha. You go and see your notes. I'm not going back what he said. That is not the topic now. So he said, this Vrittikar, that Anandamay is Brahman only. Like the common expression of the worldly person is, what is joyful is God only. Common expression is what joy you experience is Atma only. Everywhere only Atma is there in the form of joy. So he says like that. This Anandamay is Brahman. Anandamay, not Anand. Anandamay is Brahman. Be very careful. And on this 8 sutras, which starts from this 12th sutra, he also wrote a commentary. And Bhashyakar also wrote a commentary. The very important point to hear is that slowly Bhashyakar joins Vrittikar in this manner. Slowly he changes the side. So in these 8 sutras, Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji slowly did little mischief, as if he is a guru of guru, why to say like that, but as if it appears to us that he joins Vrittikar and he concludes that this Anandamay is Brahman. तस्मात् आनंदमय आत्मा इति स्थितम्. अरे ये तुम्हारी बड़ा गड़बड़ क्यों किया आपने? And then in the next line he said, all that what I said is not right. There was one lawyer. He was fighting a case. But instead of fighting a case for his client, he did not understand. He fought the case for other client, his opponent, and gave all logic in support of his opponent. Ultimately, his original client said, I am the client. You are talking on his behalf. You are making the case. You are defeating me or you are supporting me? He said, oh, I forgot. You are my client. I thought he is my client. He said, my lord, he went to the judge. My opponent would have given all these arguments what I said. अब ये देखो यहाँ पे, you know why he is doing like that? Don't think he is erratically doing anything like we do. We think like us only Bhagavan Shankaracharya. He is also erratic. He is also Buddha. It's not like that. He first gave in support of all argument that you will argue, then I will counter your argument like that. He is supporting to give the argument that these are the argument, this is how you are establishing. And supposing I say you are right, even though I will prove you are wrong. Are you getting my point? Didn't get it. So says, okay, you are right. And this is what argument is, I am also supporting you. Even if it is right like that, even though you will be proved wrong. And this I will now show you in Bhashyakar. इह तु idam tu iha vaktavyam. See, you open. Iha idam tu iha vaktavyam. See here, page 139. In page 139, see the second paragraph. After supporting here everything, he writes, Sutrani tu evam vyakhyayani. These sutras should be described like this. These sutras should be described like this. He is now saying like that. Now what is there? See, interesting point is there. He says that now what all I have said is not right. Na cha iha savishesham brahma prati pipadayishitam vang manas gochar atikrama shrute. Before that, one page 39. Before that, you saw that line. So, and after that, he says, now I am going to describe like this. So there are three steps. There is a three-tier arrangement he has done in the Bhashya. What is that? Please get this point. First, he writes a commentary as per Vrittikar. That these are your points. Chalo, मान लिया कि सही है, everything is right. Then he does khandanam of that. And third step he will do his Vyakhya. So Anandamaya Kosh cannot be Brahman. On the other hand, Anandamaya is only Kosh and not Brahman. So after refuting this Vrittikar Matam, he says, now I will reinterpret it as it is there. So, three steps are there. And this is the Advait interpretation, and this is how it should be taken. Okay? Interesting point. What is interesting point? That all these Vyakhya from 12 to 18th sutras, the Advait interpretation is not seen. Advait one will be seen only after 19 sutras. Slowly you understand what I'm talking. Advait one be seen after the 19th sutra, and the format, what is the format now? First is Vrittikar Matam, what has been established. Vrittikar Vyakhya is the first portion. So Vrittikar based interpretation. Second is Vrittikar Vyakhyan Khandanam. Vrittikar Vyakhyan Khandanam. Vrittikar refutation. And third stage is Advait Vyakhya Sthapanam. This is Siddhant. This is the three ways to establish that. I hope you are clear. So first he gives the line, what you are saying, I am commenting on everything, as if you are all right. Second stage, he refutes it. And third stage, he will establish the Advait. So we are not going to go through what Vrittikar says everywhere. So we will only see what is the essence of what Vrittikar says. Essence of that. What are the arguments? What are the arguments which Vrittikar gives and how that has been refuted by Shankaracharya? This is how we will be going through the text. Got the three-tier arrangement? And after the 18th mantra, so after 12th to around 18th mantra is as if Vrittikar is talking. And after the 18th, from 19th, not mantra, sutra, the sutra, the whole thing will be turned. So Advait way of looking at it will be mentioned. Now let us go slowly. What is the point here? Vrittikar says that Anandamay Brahma Eva. Okay. Anandamay Brahma Eva. This Anandamay alone is the Brahman. And many arguments he gives, but mainly two arguments are taken into consideration. What are those two arguments? Let us see now. He says that Upanishad has been talking about Kosh. That's Upanishad has been talking about the Kosh. So there is, first the Annamaya Kosh is there. And later on it is said, Anyantaratma Pranamaya. After that Pranamaya Kosh is there, then Anyantaratma Manomaya. Manomaya has been introduced, then Anyantaratma Vijnanmaya. And Vijnanmaya has been introduced, then Anyantaratma Anandamaya. He says, after Anandamaya Kosh, there is no other Kosh mentioned. And because there is no other mentioned, therefore is Anandamaya should not be, because Kosh requires Koshi. Kosh should be of someone, then only you can say this is the Kosh of this. Sheath has a sword. So if this was a Kosh, there should be something internal to it to tell that this is a Kosh. Because the Annamaya Atma had something internal to it that governs that which governs the outer is called inner. Like my body is there. So body is governed by the pran behind me. Shakti is there. And that Shakti is governed by the mind. The mind is governed by the intellect. So what is internal to something is governor and what is external is governed. Controls. Okay. So if you go to office, you say, well, he is the innermost person. Innermost person means he is the main person. He governs everything. He is not the inner person, they say like that. Because he is not the one who governs everything. Okay. So what you want to say? I want to say that till Anandamaya had come, we were saying that the Anyantaratma, inner Atma of Vijnanmaya is Anandamaya. Okay, I have no problem. But after saying that, it is not mentioned that inner Atma of Anandamaya is what? Okay, so what you conclude? I conclude, this is the final Atma. There is no other Atma other than Anandamaya Atma. So what you want to say? I am saying Anyantaratma word has not come. Okay. And because Anyantaratma word has not come, therefore this is innermost Atma. Oh. So I want to say this is Brahman. Which one? This Anandmay is Brahman. Don't say it Kosh. Don't say it Kosh. This Anandmay itself is Brahman. Have you followed it? Simple thing, not difficult. For everything there is inside. Inner than Annamay is Pranamay. Inner than Pranamay is Manumay. Inner than Manumay is Vijnanmay. Inner than Vijnanmay is Anandmay. He is not saying that Anyantaratma word has not come, that inner than Anandamay is something else. So that itself means this is the last one. Oh. So what do you want to say? I already told that I want to say that Anandmay is, don't use the word Kosh, Anandmay, because it is not the Kosh of anything else. It is not controlled by anything else. And therefore, this Anandmay is the Brahman. This is my first argument. Is no, this is Vrittikar is saying that. Okay. It is his point. Okay. You have anything else to say? Of course, I have just started. Okay. Second point, what I have to say. What you have to say. Please open the Mantra Pushpan, you see. After describing every course, every course, Upanishad is giving quotation from Rig Ved. Rig tadapesha shloko bhavati. Tadapesha shloko bhavati. So, are you seeing that? Tenaisha purnaha tadapesha shloko bhavati. At the end of everything, tadapesha shloko bhavati. So after Annamay is over, second mantra you see, tadapesha shloko bhavati, last line. This is a quotation from Rigveda. So, because there is something internal to it, and therefore he is saying that this is said in the Rigveda mantra, that there is this internal to Annamay is Pranamay. After Pranamay, again tadapesha shloko bhavati. So, internal to Pranamay is Manomay. After Manomay, tadapesha shloko bhavati, fourth. So, that means the Vijnanmay is internal. Okay. Then what you want to say? What you want to say? I want to say that the internal course is described by the Rigveda mantra, and at the end of Anandamay also is there fifth mantra, you see, tadapesha shloko bhavati. At the end of that. Yes. Instead of giving the next course, tadapesha shloko is describing about the Brahman here. The next Rigveda mantras were giving the internal controller of the exterior. Of the exterior, the interior was being given in all other cases. But in the case of Anandamay, instead of giving the exterior and interior, it is saying, not saying something other course itself, it is describing about Brahman only in the sixth Anuvaka. And therefore, because it is not saying that there is Anyantaratma is not there, describing straight about Brahman, and therefore, this Anandamay is Brahman only. These are my 2 points. Vrittikar is saying. Nothing exterior is revealed after Anandamay, rather than Brahman is revealed. I hope you got these 2 points. First is, he says nothing exterior, interior is over here. And second, he says in the Rigveda mantra, straight away Brahman is revealed. Lastly. And therefore this Anandamay is Brahman because of these two arguments. Now I am over. Now what you say, please tell me. And here is where Vrittikar Khandanam will come up. Khandanam. Khandanam is refutation. So first argument is being refuted now. How it is refuted? Please see. So Bhashyakar says, see whatever saying that Anyantaratma is not there. I agree with that. So something interior is not mentioned in the Anandamay Kosh. Okay. Something interior is not mentioned, you are saying that. But it is not like that. But it is not like that, no. You mean to say interior is there? Yes. How come interior is there? You see the mantra. See, Anyantaratma Anandamayaha Tenaisha Purnaha Samaesha Purusha Vidaiva Tasya Purusha Vidatam Anvayam Purusha Vidaha Tasya Priyameva Shiraha Modo Dakshinah Pakshaha Pramodottara Paksha Anand Atma. Well, now you tell me, when this Anandamay Kosh is described, when it is said its Atma is Anand, so that itself is the interior described. Even if it is said Anyantara Atma is not said, but it is said that Atma of this is Anand, so that itself is indicating that Atma is interior. So Anandamay is different than Anand. Anandamay is not equal to Anand. Oh. Okay. Like we say, that Atma of the temple is the Murti. That means Murti is not temple. Murti is not temple. Temple is the structure which encloses the Murti. Okay. I say Atma of the sannyasi is his renunciation. That means sannyasi is not renunciation straight up. Atma of the ashram is the saint. Well, we have a center, Swami, a very big center, no brahmachari is there. And who will go there? Well, we conduct a study group. Our study group sevak is there. Mr. Such and such, he comes. But we all go away, we log the center. There is nobody to live there. See, he was there. What is his name? Sorry, what is Mahesh Anand, what his name is? Los Angeles. He said, see, we don't have any brahmachari. Can you give from one house up the thing? How to say no? I said, see, how can I give? Everybody is quite occupied here. But I will see, I will think over your proposal. If anybody wants to go, please tell me. After the lockdown is over, you can go there. Kirtida is thinking that he may not ask me to go. You want to go? We can't put on this head there, that's only problem. Anyway. But when it is said that the Atma of the center has to be some sadhu, that means that center is not sadhu. See, it is clearly written. Keep that open, that page of your mantra pushpam. Anandatma. Okay. And second thing, what is mentioned here, tasya priyamev shirah. Priya. Modo dakshina paksha. There is one body is there. Head, right side, left side. This is how the Vishad has been describing. So it has more priya more than pramod. These are the three parts. Priya more than pramod. Remember that? If you remember, that something is far away, it is priya. More is something has become very close. You know that food is cooked and you are very hungry, it is priya. When you are taking and it is there in front of you, it is mod. Oh, very good. This is what I like. And when it is in front of you and eating, and exactly that is pramod is there. So three levels of anand is there. So priya mod and pramod, this is called experiential happiness. Experiential happiness means happiness at the level of body, mind, intellect, samskar, which has variation. The Anandatma is not an experiential happiness. It is substantial happiness. It has no variation in it. I'll come to it. It is called non-experiential happiness. It doesn't mean it can't be experienced. This Anandatma, which is the innermost, and therefore we use the word, I am very happy. When I say I am very happy, this is only you are saying with the conditioning of mind. But I am not saying I am happiness. Saying I am happy is one thing, and saying I am happiness is another thing. When you say I am happy, it's a passing state. You are saying as if you are not, it's not my nature. Like I said, I am man. It's not a passing state. I am man. Whether I am sad or happy, I will be man only. I am human being. But when you say I am happy, so this happy word is not a substance. It's a passing experience which is mentioned by three words called priya, mod and pramod. Okay. It's a finite state. Every experience is a finite thing. It's an experience. So this is called Kosh Anand. Kosh Anand is fluctuating Anand. I was very happy. No, I'm not that happy. The same food I took, and now that joy which I was getting while eating is no more. It is over now. So somebody give you, say, no, please don't give me, I am not. And same food, if you see, you don't have that ananda. It is over now. Because your happiness was gone. Whereas, please see the point of contention. He is saying Anyoantaratma is not there, Anandmaya is last one, because there is no description of Anyoantaratma. The answer is given that although there is no description, but Anandatma is mentioned. Therefore, internal thing still is mentioned in another language. And now I am elaborating it, that when Anandmaya word has been used, it is a Pratibimbanand. It is the Anand which is reflected in a conditioning. In the mind it is reflected Anand. I am very happy to see you. Because The reflection of the consciousness is in my mind. And when samskar of something is there, reflection is very bright. This is how the joy is experienced. You have heard that. When you have vasana of something and samskar of something, then what happens? The thought of that thing comes up. That thought is close to ignorance, close to self. And close to self, there is a high level of reflection in that thought. And therefore you say, I am very happy. The one who is having non-veg, kya subah non-veg, I should take. If he sees something, or he sees his non-vegetarian, she'll be very happy. Wow, chicken? I don't know. They will be thinking like that. Kya naam le? Whole chicken comes or it part comes? Or leg is somewhere, head is somewhere. Well, give only head. Anyway, I don't know. So, बोले कहाँ आप ले गए भैया? You are taking to chicken, etc. Take to halwa, etc. Where this chicken is there. When samskar matches, please get this point, the thought comes which is closer to ignorance. And there is a high level of reflection of the Atma in that thought, which gives you lot of joy. There is no Anand in the object, but Anand is in the high level of reflection in the thought. And supposing you have no samskar of something, so thought of that object will be there, because that object is in front of me. But because I have no samskar, that thought has no big reflectivity power. The reflection is not great. So I say, well, yeah, you like it? No, I don't like it. We leave this. You like this person? No. I have no special liking for that. And because of that, the Anand is Pratibimbanand. The Kosh Anand is Pratibimbanand. And Atma Anand is Bimbanand. It doesn't fluctuate. It doesn't vary. It is a non-experiential Anand. When I say non-experiential, it doesn't mean you cannot experience it. It means it is not at the level of mind that it experienced. There is no Taratamya Rahit Anand. It is there. There is no more and less Anand in that. In Pratibimbanand, there is more and less Anand is there. Is it okay? Difference you must speak. So one Anand is Vikari, one Anand is Avikari. One Anand is Parichin, other is Aparichin. One Anand is Sopadik, other Anand is Nirupadik. Nirupadik. Three differences. Vikari, Avikari. Modifying and non-modifying. Second was Parichin, limited, that Anand went away. Food Anand went away. Now it is no longer the Anand. And this Anand is Aparich, unlimited. Third was, this was Sopadik. It depended on something else. And this is not depending on anything else. Okay. This is the three difference you can have that. So don't think anybody is Jnani, so he will, he will laugh a lot, he will smile a lot. One person went to Baba. He said, in my meditation, I just smile. I am one with Brahman. He said, you are not. बोले बड़ा मजा आता है, get lot of joy and but just I keep on smiling. He said, you are already identified to your body and mind. Okay, बोले बड़े मौज में रहते हैं ये. बोले this मौज that you are in very bliss, he is living in bliss and joy. बोले this is at the level of mind and body. Don't say, this I cannot say I live in happiness. No, you cannot say I live in happiness or I am very happy or I am full of joy. This is not the final thing. Then what to say then? Why have to say? But I want to say that I am very happy after the knowledge. I want to say that. Supposing I have to say how shall I express that? Then you say it completely. You say that I am of the nature of joy. I am of the nature of Anand. Yes, that expresses at all time through my body, mind, I have no problem. The substantial happiness expresses as experiential happiness. Then it is, I can agree that by substance I am happy. Happiness. But see our own experience. We never say I am happiness. We have distanced the happy, then I have distanced the happiness because that is not my experience that I am happiness. And to say that I am happiness, aparichinta is required. You have to be unlimited. When you identify with your body and you identify with something, therefore what was said, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. When you say I am Anant, then only you have to be of the nature of Anand. Anandita and Ananta are synonymous word. But when we say Anand, immediately our mind goes to experiential. I saw him, I was very happy. Please differentiate between the two. I did bhajan and I was dressed. Bada maja aaya. So this is experiential Anand. Purer your mind will become, you will have more of experiential Anand. No doubt. By Vidya, Brahmacharyena, Taitri Bhashya says like that. But that is not happiness nature. Nature happiness is, I am abadit satyam, I am the non-dual self. I am one who is non-contradicted at all place and time. I am of the nature of Anantata. Okay, this is called Sukham Atyantikam Yattat. Atyantik word Krishna Bhagavad has. Buddhi Grahyam means it is known, not known by Buddhi. Here Buddhi Grahyam is not known by Buddhi. Buddhi Graham means Chetan Swarup. Atindriyam. It is beyond senses. Sukham Atyantikam Yattat Buddhi Graham Atindriyam Vetti Yatrana Chaivayam Vistitas Chalati Tattata. See the difference between two. I am of the nature of self, which does not move, it doesn't go anywhere, which is at its own place, which is of the nature of self. This is Anand Swarup. But we are too attached to Anand experience. I enjoy meditation. People say like that. I enjoy this. You have gone one step down. It is at buddhi level. But Upanishad does not stop there. He said, go one step further. And remain there at the Anand substance. Anand Atma word has been used. So three things. Vikar is not there. Parichinnata is not there. And Upadhi is not there. Which is devoid of these three things. Modification. Vikar is not there. Limitation is not there. But this had come, my Anand had gone. Satsang was going on, my Anand was very good. After that, all my Anand went. This is Upadhi is there. I was doing jap, I was very happy. Upadhi. I was sitting in my room very quietly since I met him. Moment I met him, all my Anand went away. So that means there you had a Aupadhik Anand, not Swarup Anand. Because Swarup doesn't go anywhere. Whether you with this person or that person, with this work or this work, Yogratova, Bhogratova, Sangratova, Sangavina, Yasya Brahmanivya Aramati Chittam Nandati Nandati. Whether he is working, whether he is talking, whether he is thinking, he is not. He knows that my nature is like that. Somebody is hitting him or somebody is praising him, his state is same. That is Bimbanand, it is called. While Taitri was going on, I must have taken this name Bimbanand or Pratibimbanand is there. So Anand Atma itself mentioned about Bimbanand. And therefore Anand mein is not a Brahma, it is a Kosh. This is the first, refuting the first argument. Okay. See, ordinary person, when he, one person in Singapore, one boy came, he said, this satsang was very good. But there was no thrill, excitement was not there. Everything was very quiet. I was very happy, quiet. Very peace. That means he was too attached to the Anand by the Upadhis too much. And in the satsang, you are slowly removing all the Upadhis of Sharir, Buddhi, Man, slowly you go inside. So this is independent Anand, that is dependent Anand. This is Swatantra, this is Paratantra. So Pratibimbanand will always be Paratantra Anand. Well, today my mind is not okay, therefore Anand is also not. I am too dependent on the reflection. I went to one saint long back when I was 18 years. He said, how are you? I said, I am very quiet today. He said, supposing you are not quiet then? I said, I will be disturbed then. He said, why are you dependent on quietness and disturb? Both are a state of mind. Go behind that. So because mind is mind, it is made out of gunas. Someday it will be very good, someday it will be disturbed. You can't expect that mind will be very quiet all 24 hours, all 365 days. Because gunas are going up and down. So therefore, na dveshti sampravrtani na nivrittani kangshat. Let it be disturbed, let it be quiet. What you have to do with that? Be there. I didn't understand too much at that time. But it took some time to get what he was trying to say. This was the first refuting. Second, what he refuted that, there is no tadapyesha shloko, is not going to another kosh. Rather, Brahman is described. We will see more tomorrow. Time is over. Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namah. हरि ओम।